When it comes to dealing with a narcissist, people often seek advice on the best way to break free from their manipulation, abuse, and controlling behavior. There are many strategies out there. Some people advise blocking them on social media. Others recommend going no contact. And some even suggest confronting them head-on. But what if I told you that there's something even more powerful than all of these methods? Something that can shatter the narcissist's carefully constructed world beyond what no contact could ever achieve. Stick around, because in this video, we're going to reveal that very thing and explain exactly how you can use it to break the narcissist's hold over you for good. Before we dive into that, make sure to hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and share it with anyone you know who might benefit from learning about narcissism and how to deal with it. You won't want to miss what's coming up next, because we're going to uncover the truth that no one talks about when it comes to narcissists, and how you can use it to reclaim your life. So let's get started. Narcissism is one of the most insidious and dangerous personality disorders that can leave lasting emotional and psychological scars on its victims. At first, narcissists may seem charming, confident, and even loving. But underneath that facade lies a pattern of grandiosity, entitlement, manipulation, and lack of empathy. Narcissists thrive on controlling and dominating others, using a range of tactics to ensure that their needs, desires, and egos are constantly validated. But here's the kicker. Narcissists don't just hurt you with their words and actions. They can leave you questioning your reality, doubting your self-worth, and even feeling completely trapped in their toxic web. And the most frustrating thing? Narcissists don't care about how their behavior affects you. Their primary focus is their own image, power, and control. They rely on others to fuel their narcissistic supply, their constant need for admiration and validation. So what happens when you cut off that supply? When you stop giving them the attention, admiration, or validation they crave so desperately? The most common response from people who have been involved with narcissists is to go no contact, blocking them from your life completely. It's a powerful strategy that many recommend because it removes the narcissist's access to you. No contact means no more manipulation, no more mind games, no more toxicity. And for most people, it can provide a much-needed sense of freedom. But there's one thing that cuts even deeper than no contact. One thing that narcissists dread more than being ignored, shut out, or rejected. It's something that shatters their world and exposes them in a way that no other tactic can. This one thing is indifference. The cold, unfeeling, uninterested response that makes the narcissist realize that they no longer have any power over you. When you are completely indifferent to their existence, when you no longer react to their attempts to manipulate, charm, or provoke you, you take away their most precious weapon, your emotional reaction. You see, narcissists live for your reactions. They crave it, feed on it, and use it as a gauge for their worth and power. Whether it's anger, sadness, frustration, or even admiration, they need to see that they've stirred something inside of you. They use your emotional responses as a way to validate their existence and to feel in control. But when you refuse to react, when you show them nothing but a cold, indifferent response, it sends them into a tailspin. Why? Because narcissists are masters of projection. They convince themselves that they are superior, exceptional, and entitled to special treatment. But deep down they are insecure. Their self-esteem is fragile and relies on the constant adoration and validation of others. When they don't get that reaction, when their attempts to provoke you fall flat, it destabilizes them. Their carefully constructed persona begins to crack. They realize that they can no longer manipulate you or control your emotions. This indifference doesn't just affect them momentarily. It has a long-lasting psychological impact. Narcissists thrive on attention, and when they're met with nothing but cold silence, it forces them to confront the painful reality that they are no longer in control. It's not just the lack of a reaction that hurts them, but the fact that you are able to move on with your life without them. Something they can't fathom. For a narcissist, this is a complete existential crisis. Now, you might be wondering, How do I show indifference to a narcissist? Is it as simple as ignoring them? Well, the answer is yes and no. While going no contact is an excellent strategy, true indifference goes beyond just ignoring them. It's about taking back your power. It's about showing them, with your actions and behavior, that you are no longer invested in their drama, their lies, or their need for validation. One of the most powerful ways to demonstrate indifference is to stop engaging in their games altogether. Narcissists love to provoke a response, and they will often try to engage you in arguments, guilt trips, or emotional manipulation. If you fall into this trap, you're giving them exactly what they want, a reaction. But when you refuse to participate, when you refuse to get emotionally involved, it drives them crazy. They will test your limits, try to trigger you, but the more you remain unfazed, the more they will start to doubt themselves. Another way to show indifference is through emotional detachment. You have to stop taking their words and actions personally. Narcissists often engage in cruel, hurtful behavior, and it can be tempting to react out of anger or hurt. But every time you give in to those emotions, you're allowing them to maintain control. When you learn to detach emotionally, when you stop internalizing their hurtful words and actions, you take away their power. For example, let's say a narcissist tries to belittle you or insult you. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, you simply look at them with a blank expression, or even better, walk away without saying a word. This non-reaction sends a powerful message that you are no longer affected by their words or their behavior. You don't care enough to engage, because you know that their words have no value. This behavior is the opposite of what the narcissist expects, and it can be incredibly destabilizing for them. But perhaps the most powerful form of indifference is emotional detachment coupled with personal growth. Narcissists thrive on seeing you suffer, struggle, or remain stuck in their toxic grip. When you break free from their control and start living a healthy, fulfilling life, it's a direct assault on their ego. They cannot stand to see you happy and thriving without them. They will try to provoke jealousy, guilt, or resentment. But when you are indifferent to their attempts and continue living your best life, it sends a message that no matter how hard they try, they will never be able to control or diminish your sense of self-worth. The hardest part about showing indifference is that it requires you to fully detach from any emotional investment in the narcissist. It means letting go of any hope that they might change, that they might apologize, or that they might suddenly become the person you wish they were. Narcissists rarely change, and the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can begin to free yourself from their grip. The more you focus on your own healing and growth, the more you reinforce your indifference to them and their toxic behavior. So, how do you know when you've truly reached a place of indifference? It's when you no longer feel the need to explain yourself to them, when you no longer care about their opinion of you, when their presence in your life no longer holds any emotional weight. It's when you can look at them and feel nothing. No anger, no sadness, no resentment. Just indifference. And that, my friends, is when you've shattered the narcissist's world beyond what no contact could ever achieve. By choosing indifference, you are sending a message loud and clear. You will no longer be their source of narcissistic supply. You will no longer be their emotional punching bag. And you will no longer tolerate their toxic behavior. You are taking back your power, your peace, and your life. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into how to deal with narcissism and toxic relationships. Remember, you have the power to reclaim your life, and with the right strategies, you can break free from the narcissist's grip for good. Until next time, take care of yourselves and stay strong. When it comes to dealing with a narcissist, people often seek advice